Mavericks, who stunned the Spurs with a brilliant fourth quarter on Saturday. And game number 2 here in San Antonio as Tony Parker just scores the first basket for the San Antonio Spurs. This is
Popovich's biggest concern coming into this game is at the defensive end of the floor. They scored 97 points. They're generally going to win a basketball game, but that was not the case.
By Wright, and here comes Parker again, penetrating inside and lays it in. So Tony Parker has scored all 5 San Antonio points, off to a hot start.
And when they put the ball in someone else's hand to initiate the offense.
Duncan will shoot over Dampier and hit, off to a hot start. And the rebound by Parker. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Spurs lead the Mavericks 10-7. Parker gets inside, and he now has 7. And again, it's been Duncan and Parker totally for San Antonio. With Mano unable to go with the stress fracture of the ankle. And coming right back, giving the Spurs a 14-7 lead in the game, and did not come out for the shoot-around on Sunday. Did today, and apparently is all right. Here's Parker with the screen hitting the shot. So Parker with 11, Duncan with 5, and the Spurs lead 16-9.
Break points for Dallas in game number 1. I already given them 2 baskets because I counted Dampier's down the middle, trailing one as a fast break basket.
Tony Parker, 13 points in the first quarter, and we still have just under 5 minutes remaining. He's hit 6. Well, second chance points. Mavericks 21, Spurs 8. That's what really killed San Antonio in game 1. Parker driving in, gets the lay-in. Tony Parker, unstoppable in this first quarter, has 15.
And for our view, he's the best at moving his feet and keeping Parker away from the front of the rim.
After the air ball by Howard, Parker off balance, wide open is Bruce Bowen, and he hits the basket. Bruce Bowen, once the league's top 3-point shooter. His points, that's what Greg Popovich wants to see more of, and the Spurs have that opportunity. Under 3 minutes to go in the first, and Nowitzki turned away, and Parker beat him to the basket. Nowitzki lost Parker, and he made him pay. 7 shots from the field. 9-point game. Here's Parker getting inside again. He gets another basket. 19 for Tony Parker with 2:10 to go in the first.
Said, go and attack. You see a winded Tony Parker. Nowitzki doesn't know which way to turn. He looks one way. Parker blows right by him. Terry is supposed to be in front of him, not behind him if you're going to guard Tony Parker.
1:23 remaining in the first quarter. Here is Roger Mason inside, feeding Gooden with the basket. Gooden signed in March. Leading the Mavericks, Parker with 19. Topping the Spurs, he now has 20. Gets the rebound, outlets to Parker. Parker working against Terry, cuts him off at the baseline. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Pick and roll, Duncan. Perfectly executed. Duncan now with 7. 1, and Tony Parker will shoot the free throw. After falling way behind, but Howard loses it to Parker. Kidd is back, and Parker will challenge and lay it in.
39-14 advantage in game number 1 for Dallas. Well, right now, San Antonio's bench 10, just 8 for Dallas's bench.
14-point lead. The Spurs were up by as many as 21, and Tony Parker hits a field goal. He now has 27. Started 15 times during the regular season and began the second half in a very flourishing second half in game 1, but Parker picking up where he left off. Now
at that time he got a little bit wild, off balance. He couldn't make a clean pass out.
Duncan from Parker, well done. And Duncan now with 11 points. Tony Parker pulling up left of the key, hitting the shot. 31 for Tony Parker and a 13-point Spurs lead. GM2, and what a pleasure. Under 6.5 to go, and Parker gets inside, and it gets the roll. 33 now for Tony Parker.
Watch a player develop his game. As Marty had mentioned early on, he went to Popovich and said, what do I have to do to get better? Well, you need to develop an assortment of shots. There's the teardrop, which floats it up over the top of the big people who challenge. The
ball will be Kidd. Bad pass by Kidd. Parker has it with Duncan ahead. It'll be Duncan. Out, dressed in white, going wild here. Udoka misses. Duncan, no look to Finley for the field goal. And the Mavericks will talk it over as Dirk Nowitzki slowly goes back to the bench. Might have been shaken up.
It's his favorite shot, and then the interior passing of the big man. Look to the right, pass to the left. Finley with the finish.
Texas Wars, Spurs and Mavericks, familiar with each other. Parker with a runner, gets the basket with 1/10 of a second remaining. And what a way to put an exclamation point on the third quarter for the Spurs. To 17, Parker now with 35 points.
Pretty nice substitution by the head coach. Put him in with 5 seconds to go, put the ball in his hands, tell him, go get us a basket.
The stress fracture of the ankle. Tony Parker trying to add the 36-point and does. Into the game, whatever you need, physical stuff, outside shooting, defense, hustle all over the floor.
You notice that when Dallas takes two defenders on the ball, when we see Bonner set up and hit another three-pointer from downtown.
You still can talk about things. Bonner, by the way, 44% from three-point range, led the Spurs this year.
One rebound. So now, if you go home tonight and say, why didn't I play more? Well, tonight, the same guy, Bonner, has 28 minutes on the floor. He's 3 for 4 from the three.
For a couple of years. Tony Parker's going out of the game. Standing ovation for Parker, 37 points. 38 points and 8 assists. And Manu Ginobili gives him a much-needed massage. And he's replaced in there by George Hill, the rookie.
Tony Parker from the beginning of the game was in the attack mode, and he started out game number 1 the second way. Problem was that when it got to halftime, he kind of lost his aggressiveness, but he never stopped here in game number 2.